Okay, so this is where we start with our wine. We got our hose, same hose you use for your bubbler in your fish tank, only you want a clean one, obviously. I reuse the jugs that I bought the juice out of in the first place. And I like to use the Welch's white grape and mix it with some cranberry juice. Sometimes I get the cranberry 100% juice and then get one of these. Sometimes I get a white grape and a cranberry apple, cran apple type thing. Mix and match your flavors. That's the nice thing about making your own wine, is that you don't have to only have certain flavors. You can add all kinds of flavors that you'll never find in the grocery store. So, where we're going to start, we're going to pop this bubbler off the top, which you'll see in my short phone video. Sorry, but I used my phone. Here you can see the airlock system. It lets the air out but doesn't let air in. Rubber stopper, and it foams up some and makes a little scum on the top. And then what we're talking about, see how it's nice and clear. Put my hand behind it, nice and clear. And then down here at the bottom are the dregs. That's the leftover dead yeast cells that made all that wonderful alcohol in this wine. That's what we're trying not to get into our wine. We're trying to filter off all this nice clean wine on the top without getting any of that nastiness. We'll set it aside. And then we carefully put this down in there. Watch where it goes. We don't want it to get into the sludge in the bottom. If you get close, then you put your thumb over this end, just like a straw. You pick it up, let it run down a little bit. Repeat the process a few times so that you can get some wine in there to get it started with. Then we put it in there. Make sure we get it down to almost where the dregs are, but not quite. And then we start running it into our bottles. As you can see, it starts right up. Good smelling wine. Now, we're going to speed things up a little bit while this drains out. That's going to take a little while, but it should fill this bottle and that bottle, because that's what I used to make it with. And we'll be back when this gets done. Now, when you get to this point, you lift it up. You can pinch it shut if you want. Stick it right in the other one. And the trick to this is the bigger the differential between here and there, the faster it runs. So if you put your wine bottle up higher, these bottles down lower, it fills even quicker. And watch out for gnats. Oh, darn. It's not all going to fit in the jar. You know what that means? I need another container. Doggone it. Because gnats. Starting to look like I'm going to have to share this with my wife. as you can see, when it gets down, you set it where you want it. When it gets down where you want it, it stops all by itself. You set it where it's just right above those dregs, and it'll suck up everything all the way down to those dregs. And make sure you rinse and sanitize everything when you're done, and we'll make another batch of wine. And now we've got it all filtered off. The dregs are on their way to the bottom of the sink. Now comes the true taste test. Is it good enough to be worth all the trouble? Let's find out. It's got a nice tangy bite. As much sugar as I put it in it, it's really dry. That means that yeast did its job. This is some good wine. And you're not going to get wine like this at the store. Who makes cranberry white grape wine? Nobody, except me. That's good stuff. Let me show you how I make it. And here we are. We're ready to start making more wine. And I apologize in advance. That last wine was so good I had a glass and a half. Man, was it good. So, without further ado, we're going to put our funnel in, start adding sugar. And you're going to ask, how much sugar do I add? Well, I don't really know. I just add about that much. I would guess probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 cups, maybe 3. And the funny thing is, this wine makes, it says up to 18% alcohol. And I'm here to tell you, I believe every bit of that. So it needs a lot of food to make that much alcohol. I know, it looks like a lot of sugar, doesn't it? That yeast will eat it all up like it wasn't even there. Let's give it a little more. There we go. About that much. If you need a reference point in a gallon jug, I'd say about 1.5 inches. Now, the wine yeast I use, I recommend right there. I don't know how well that's showing up on the video, so I'm going to tell you it is Lalvin, Lalvin, and its code name is EC-1118. That's the type of yeast it is. And it is the best yeast I've found. So I'm going to take the cranberry juice and give it a shake. Make sure I get all the goodies out of it. Pour it down through the funnel. Make sure I get every last delicious drop. And then, this is 100% juice from SE Grocers, that's Winn-Dixie. It's 100% juice. It starts out with cranberry juice, and then grape juice, and then apple juice, pear juice, pectin, and ascorbic acid. So it says it's 100% juice. I'm going to give it a little shake in case there's any solids at the bottom, but there usually isn't in that stuff. That cranberry juice I got from Aldi, and it's 100% cranberry juice. We're just going to add this in. No need to be fancy, just get it in there as quick as you can. Smells good. It's nice sweet juice. Got plenty of its own sugar, but nowhere near enough to feed these yeast. These are some hungry yeast. They eat it up and make a lot of alcohol. Now, this wine kit, I'll put it in the description, comes with a cap and this rubber stopper that I recommend you stop here. Get that sugar mixed in. thoroughly mixed in. It doesn't take as long as you think. But you want to get it mixed in all the way, because the yeast can't really eat crystallized sugar. It's got to be mixed in with the water. So you want to get it mixed in. The reason I don't put the yeast in first is because yeast aren't real fond of being shook up. And you can kill your yeast shaking them too much. So I always mix the sugar in first, and I hold it like this, because the sugar will accumulate in the corner faster than on the bottom. Then I can look and see, is there any left? I don't see any. Let's give it a little extra just to be sure. Now, we shake our yeast, pop it open, just like bread yeast. It's a little granulated sugar, yeast in the packet. You pour it in the top, like so. Put the lid back on, and this time you just kind of want to give it a quick, just a little shake like that, just enough to get it mixed in good. That's all you need. And you take off the lid. Make sure you wash this, sanitize it, and save it, because you're going to need it for the next time. Then you put the cork in. Put your air filter on. Put a little water in it. I should have had water ready, but I didn't. Put the water in it. It's got a little line on there, tells you how much water to add. Just the right amount. And you put the little cap on top. And there you go. You're making delicious wine. In about 2 or 3 weeks it'll be done, but I like to let it set for about a month and a half so it's nice and clear. Other people add chemicals to make it clear faster. They add chemicals to keep other things from growing. This is actually, if you were to use organic juice and organic cane sugar, this would be organic wine. No chemicals, no sulfites. Nice, clean, homemade wine. And man, is it good. Got a kick, too. You're going to enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. 2 if you can. Thanks again. Okay, it's been about a week and a half since I made the wine, and I just wanted to show you the bubbles coming up. Look how fast the bubbles come up. That is from the yeast eating the sugar, creating alcohol and carbon dioxide, which then gets expelled right out of this thingy. If you watch it, up and down it goes. Goes up, releases the water and drops down. Goes up, 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 releases the water and down. And the smell of wine attracts gnats from miles away. That's why I warned about the gnats.